Hi again, everybody who's joining me. Hello. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Real good.
Real good?
Mm-hmm.
So you wanted to make a video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little commentary. Showing that I'm not a mindless robot that can't think for myself. Okay.
So I guess today's events have hurt you or upset you pretty good.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm pissed off.
How come?
It's extremely violating and just exactly what a narcissist does every single time. Every single time. You give them an inch and they'll fucking take more than a mile out of you. More than a mile. You can never let up. You can never forgive. Well, you always want to forgive, but you can never forget. And you can never, ever, ever underestimate. You understand? You can never underestimate.
Well, you know my feeling on the forgiveness. You know, you either forgive or you don't. You can't make yourself forgive.
It's a personal decision.
For sure. So, what's been going on today, or the last couple of days, with Meatnormous? How did you react to that?
I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy.
Or not?
I just felt blindsided. I felt blindsided. These are people I have, other than you, no personal relation to them whatsoever. For them to be poking around into my personal business, even to the point, now that I know your parents, that I wouldn't put it past them to find out that somebody's been impersonating me in order to get personal financial information about me, and it's just not going to happen. If that's what ends up being something that I find out, I'm going all the way. You cannot impersonate me. You can't commit fraud against my name. I have no emotional ties. I don't give a fuck.
Because you're not me, as you said.
I don't have a daughter that I'm trying to protect, that I don't want her to see her grandparents going to jail. I actually think it would be good for her to see her grandparents go to jail, to show that there's some repercussions when you do illegal shit. Illegal.
And I pussed out.
I think strategically, maybe it was a good decision because you kept the house.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True. When you look at the long and the short of it is, I was supposed to have my name off that house, and now it's still on it. The problem is, you know, the house was purchased at $240,000 in 2001, and it just assessed at $214 after 15 years.
After
15 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what always bothered me about them, is how they would just look down their nose at everybody. You know, and just like, well, I don't understand. You're just irresponsible. You're this or you're that. You've always been, you know, the always beens. Just, what kind of toll is this taking on you? Specifically with them, with their bullshit.
I'm dealing with a lot of my own personal shit. I'm dealing with my own family bullshit. I'm recovering myself. I'm working on my mental state. I'm working on being positive. I'm working on making strides for myself. I believe living well is the best revenge. So that's my goal right now, is just to live really well, to make something of myself so that I do what I want to do with my life, you know?
I find it odd. I brought this up in the other video. On one end, you're a whore. Then you're a victim that fell to my grooming or manipulation, and then I absconded to Florida after doing the same thing to my wife and child. Now you're being attacked again for taxes.
I'm both the Madonna and I'm the whore at the same time. I'm never gonna win.
But that's
never
exactly,
going to win.
Of course not, because you're dealing with a narcissistic sociopath.
Like, they can't even fathom, you know, that maybe I might be really depressed because I freaking just totaled a car that I really needed. You know, like maybe that's the reason I was so down that day. You know, like a normal person, like a normal human being. No, it's always some ulterior motive. It's always some kind of conundrum behind the scenes. Somebody's working something, somebody's doing something, because that's the way you think. That's the way you scheme, and that's the way you strategize about people. Because people are just objects to you. People are nothing.
Right. Well, that was my point. I mean, when he started calling me a grifter the other day, I mean, that's him talking about him.
That's what I said too, right away. That he's projecting.
I mean, this is a guy who hasn't worked a day in his life. He hasn't earned a cent on his own since 1991. He hasn't earned a cent since 1991. He scammed the disability system. He had Social Security paying, getting monthly checks for Michael for Social Security, and he got a house off the woman across the street and all her assets. Then while he's collecting disability, and Social Security for my brother, he buys a second-hand shore house with the equity from his first. I mean, and my house is 15 years is $40,000 underwater from the buying price of it after 15 years.
And
I mean,
he also pushed you to buy that house.
Of course
yes
he
or
did.
no?
Of
yes
course
or no?
he did. He got the mortgage. He set it up with my Aunt Tina, the one who passed. I made a video about that years ago. The one died of breast cancer. That was written out of the obituary and all that. She works for Century 21. I just come home from work, and my father's like, "Yeah, we're going looking houses. Call this company Sendan. You're already pre-approved for a mortgage." What? Called up. Yep. And next thing I know, I'm looking for, and within 28 days.
Oh, so you mean from the start he was impersonating you?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Or he told my aunt to do something, and she pulled some.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Just constantly taking liberties. And what I finally realized years later is why. Because he always, we were always pawns in his game with his own family, with those fucked up Schusters. And I realized what it was, why all of a sudden he just pushed to buy this house. Okay, it was my cousin Kristen, his younger brother's daughter and husband, had bought a house. So now he was pushing it. So it wasn't even about him wanting me to have a house. He wanted me to have a house, to have status with his brother. I didn't want that. I ended up liking the house, and
yeah, but
we were better off where we were at the time.
Yeah, you can like any house, though. Was it a smart financial decision at the time?
Not really.
Not really. Exactly. There's a reason why I'm 30 years old now and I still don't own a house. It's because I can't fucking afford it, and I know that. And at the very least, my dad wasn't stupid enough to push into financial decisions that he can't control. At the very least, my father taught me good financial decisions.
I'll be very, very honest. We could have afforded it. I mean, our mortgage was $2,000 in 2001. It was $2,019 was our first mortgage payment. That's what it was, and it was a 30-year fix. And we bought the house with all this debt that I was trying to pay down. And I was always just so waiting for everything to crash. I didn't even believe my own successes. I had no idea how money worked. I had no idea how mortgages were. I had no idea. Just sign here, sign here, sign here. And Carrie was even worse. So
yeah, you had to rely on your fathers.
Of course I did, because they controlled every. Of course, because they controlled every cent ever since I was a child I ever got. Mm-hmm. Every cent they took away from me, and they just threw.
Yeah, and he thought that you would get in the house and he could still control the finances.
Of course he did. That's why he freaked out on me when Kerry was pregnant with Aaron at Christmas, and that I've told that story 100 times too. It's always a manipulation. It's always a manipulation. what bothers me is I don't even really talk about them specifically. He has to keep coming in and trying to poke the bear for no good goddamn reason, other than his life is probably falling to shit. So what I think he's doing, he's trying to hit a pressure point with me, trying to go after you. This is what I was telling you. It's not really about you. They can give a shit. I mean, they can give a shit about anybody.
They give a shit a little bit. They give a shit a little bit.
Well, they give a shit that I'm not giving them what they want.
Remember, I got black blood, right?
You do have black blood. You could have a black baby. And what do poor people do for fun, right?
What do poor people do for fun, huh?
Right, Trunky? What do poor people do for fun?
By the way, this is the reason why I'm drinking. I haven't drank in 2 weeks. This is why I'm drinking now. Thanks.
Yeah, but you don't even drink that much. I mean, you like your beers at night.
Beer.
So
yeah,
like
I mean,
I'm
drunk. I know. I haven't gotten drunk in a long time. Thank God. I'm too old for that shit now.
It has been a long time since you got years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you've been drunk. Oh no, wait, no.
I only.
Well, you went out with the girls, but that's normal. I mean, like once in a while you get a little.
I don't drink.
Trash.
I usually drink beer, and at this point now, when I go out, I really don't drink a lot of hard liquor. I just go straight for the beer. So maybe I'll have a shot or something.
Well, it's not like you're walking around with a friggin' vat of vodka like drunkie.
No, I don't drink vodka anymore. Vodka's trash.
So you called up there today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Left me.
I just wanted to get it done. You know, I got sick and tired of seeing what happened with you. Your parents should be in jail, by the way. In jail, press charges, whatever the hell would have happened. It should have happened. It should have happened. It should have happened. Because then Aaron could at least see that there's somebody outside of the situation, aka law enforcement, that cares about what your parents are doing. You understand? It would have been a lesson for her. That's what I think. That's what I think. Because she needs to see this little cocoon or this bubble that they're putting her in, this abusive bubble. It's not real life. That was the biggest wake-up call in my life, leaving the abusive bubble and learning how the world really worked. That girl has no idea how the world works, and that's the way they want it. They want the narrative of the world to be their narrative, what they decide is the true story of how the world works.
Right.
She's going to be blindsided the minute she leaves that house.
She's never left, so.
She's never left. She's going to be blindsided by the real world. McFaddy is fucking blindsided by the real world. She can't deal with it. She hides behind your parents.
Yep.
And now she's making a little minion version of herself the same way that's not going to be able to deal with the real world, real consequences. She's just going to think that she can act however she wants to get her way, and then nothing will ever happen depending on how she acts. That's not how the world works.
I know that.
You act fucked up, and then something's going to happen to you.
I know all that.
Yeah.
I've said that. She may be gone.
She's not gone. The minute that she leaves there and she starts interacting with the real world, she's going to say, oh, crap, my grandparents are full of shit.
Oh, look what she's friggin' around. I mean, who the hell knows what's in her head anymore? Who knows what's in her head? You know?
Common Core is in her head.
Yeah, Common Core. A therapist who friggin' picked her off a Little League diamond that he lives across the street from with a kid in the same school. I mean, it's it's like you said, it's one thing after another, and it never ends with them. It never ends. I mean, if they were attacking, if I was just still here making video after video about them, okay, that'd be one thing.
But you're helping other people. That's what's bugging them.
Of course. Not only am I helping other people, but they're attacking news stories about the family court system, about the manipulation of authorities, which would tell you why he's friggin' putting his red flag, like, oh shit. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Brian. I'm going to keep talking about the inequities in the court system and the shit that's allowed to go on. I'm sorry, it's just gone. Well, I'm not sorry, but that's just going to continue. You also made another call, huh?
What call?
Other than to my father.
Yeah, to Leonia.
To Leonia, huh?
Yeah, to Leonia.
Why'd you do that?
Because I'm sick and tired of just sitting around and talking about things getting done. I wanted to see if something can actually get done.
So you're basically taking it out of my hands.
Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And the woman you spoke to on the phone seemed awfully interested.
Very agreeable. You know?
What a shock.
I'm not crazy. I'm not. I told her on the phone, I said, I don't want to get into the dramatics of the situation. I just want to know, is this woman using her governmental authority to find personal information about me, even to the point of maybe impersonating me or having somebody impersonate me in order to find information about me? I'm like, that's what I want to find out. And if it is happening, if anything is happening to my name, if she's sitting there on a government computer trying to find information about me, that's going to be put to an end. Because you're abusing your power, and that's not how things work. Understand, my friend? Understand? This isn't a soap opera. This is real life. You fuck around with the wrong people, you're going to get fucked with in return.
Tried to warn you, Brian. Tried to warn you to back off. I warned you. Back off. But you know, this last year has been one of the hardest since we've been together.
Mm-hmm.
With all that shit.
It's like you can't catch a break. We're trying to rebuild our lives. We're trying to rebuild our income. We're trying to find a direction for the future. We're trying to stop doing this job to job to job, trying to find enough already. We want to be successful. You get what I'm saying? So we're trying to build ourselves up from nothing, from a lifetime of people that are supposed to love and protect you, destroying you, to destroy you. When you're a child, that fucks with your head mentally. You start separating in your mind when people fuck with you when you're a kid. So for you to reintegrate yourself and then to move forward and be successful, it's a huge feat. The last thing you need is your parents dragging you down. Parents, friends, family, sister, brother, girlfriend, wife, husband, doesn't matter.
You think there's any way if we stayed in New Jersey it wouldn't have gone violent?
At some point your parents would end up in jail because you get mad. You get really mad. I don't. I get mad for like 20 seconds and then my next thought is, what can I realistically do about this to get results? Right. You understand what I'm saying?
But that's because it's my parents.
Exactly.
I mean, do you remember when we picked up, what were we getting? Your dad, the couch. Mm-hmm. And your dad made the, Charlene gets, your mom said Charlene gets everything because your mom was all attitude. And you remember the freak out you had? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything to him and you freaked out in the car. You'd have killed her if she was standing.
No, I did say something to him. That's wrong. I did say something to him. What did he say? You know how your mother is.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah. He said, you know how your mother is. It's all a big joke.
Or the MySpace thing. Remember the MySpace thing?
At the very, very least, luckily, I didn't have kids, you know what I'm saying, for them to interfere with. Mm-hmm. So I was able to cut it off completely. That's the only reason I'm as healthy as I am today. It's because I was able to just slice them.
All right, better example. MySpace. Why'd you block your mother on MySpace?
I didn't.
Exactly. But do you remember?
Yeah, of course I do.
Well, you must have done something.
They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
That was her paranoia.
But you were ready to kill her. You were ready to kill her.
No.
Oh,
I was pissed off.
Yeah.
It was more, it wasn't so much because when you say it like that, it sounds like, very silly. Like, oh, like, oh, why'd you block me on MySpace? It was more than that. It was more
it was the gaslighting. You didn't block her. She was just an idiot. And
then when she found out that I hadn't actually blocked her, she said, oh, you must have done something. You must have gone back and unblocked. Right. No, you dumb. I did not do anything. But that's the way you want to think. You're constantly the victim. Constantly. Nobody helps you. Nobody does anything. You're such the martyr. Every time. Always the martyr. Always the martyr. Even when everybody else is falling apart, it always has to be on her and what's going on with her. Her difficulties, her struggle. She doesn't give a fuck about you.
Mm-hmm. You see how mad you're getting just talking about her. It's
Because
the same thing with, all I'm saying.
I've settled. You know what I'm saying? Like, after I spent a long time feeling really bad for her because I bought the whole victim act. I bought the martyr act. You know what I'm saying? My entire, because that's the only thing you know. When you're growing up, you think, as a child, you think your parents are God. You think they know everything about everything, and then nothing they say is wrong. And then eventually I grew up and interacted with the real world, and I realized that victim mentality gets you nowhere. It gets you nowhere, and people get sick of it after a while. And that's what she was teaching me, to be a victim.
Right.
Constantly.
Do you think if she was still messing with you, though, it would be different, like my father's doing with me?
Honestly, if the difference between me and you is that if I had found out they were forging legal documents with my name on it, I would have pursued action. I wouldn't even have thought to, but my parents would never do that because they know I would pursue action. That's we have a different dynamic. You know what I'm saying? My parents know I'm the strong one. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one that calls up government agencies. I'm the one that gets results. I'm the one that gets things done. So don't fuck with me.
At least they had some respect for you on some level. I mean, that's just the thing. You could see there is zero respect from my parents.
That's because they think the problem is they think you're not actually gonna do anything about it. And you didn't. You know what I'm saying? And I'm mad. You should have done something. But there's nothing you can. This is the way things are now. And maybe even still, just the fact of him forging your name on the document may still get you somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Even though you agree to it later on, there still is the fact that he forged your name on bank paperwork.
I'd rather get my half of the house at this point.
You can still, maybe you can still get half of the house.
Wow.
And still, because then that forged signature still exists. You can't do that.
True.
Whatever. But it doesn't matter because I know I'm pursuing my thing. Don't fuck with me. You fuck with the wrong person. I'm done with it. The straw has already broken my back. My back is in a million different pieces. I'm straggling along and I'm going to fuck with you.
Huh. You are under my control, aren't you?
Yeah, totally under your control. You can see. You can see.
Under my control. Well, do you have any final messages or thoughts for Brian, because he is watching?
Yeah. The only thing I'll say is I don't make videos. I don't get in front of the camera. I'm not comfortable with it. It's just not my thing.
You tried.
I tried, but it's just not my thing. I can't do it. I'm a behind the scenes person. I'm creative. I like to create things, and I like to point people in the direction of what they need to do to be in front of the camera or to be whatever. But I'm behind the scenes always. That's what I've always done. So for me to be in front of the camera is not comfortable for me. So you'll never see me like only today maybe you'll see me a little more engaged because I'm so pissed off, but in general I don't like the camera. So any kind of feelings you have or any kind of conspiracy theories you have or anything about my personality or my state of mind or who I am, I'm letting you know right now I'm my own fucking person.
Or where you worked.
Or where I work, which was just a fucking job, by the way. And by the way, I only took that job just to prove that I can handle it. That I can actually see stupid things like people fucking like ingrates all fucking day long and it wouldn't affect me. I have no ties to that job at all. I don't give a fuck about the job. I'm on to a different job now. And then after that job, I'll be on to a different one because I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Since you do run accounts payable for
when you're a
for a major art gallery.
Yeah, when you're a leader, you're just a leader, period. It doesn't matter. It can be any business whatsoever. You'll just run it. You'll just run it because good business is good business, period.
I mean, it is a disgusting club, but how much did that club make a year?
$20 million.
$20 million club she was managing at 28 years old.
28 years old, I manage it. I opened it myself. I closed it myself. I run entire nights by myself. A $20 million.
And only because
that's been around for about 20 years also.
And only because the disgusting owner wanted to, you wouldn't go on Swinger Radio.
Yeah, that's when everything turns sour.
Talk about
I'm like,
your panties
I said, you know what? I'm like, I can run your business for you. I can be very behind the scenes. I can do everything. I can make sure people are working. I can make sure that these members are behaving with each other. I'm like, but I'm not going to get to the point where I'm going on a radio and saying this shit excites me. It's not going to happen. Because that's my reputation. That's my face. That's my voice. That's my name. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And then that's where things started going south because I can't buy into the business full. I can't buy it in full steam. I can't be your figurehead. I can't be your face. I can't do any of that shit.
Yeah, they wanted you to be the face of the club.
I cannot do that for you. And so it just ended the way it was supposed to end. I feel, you don't believe in God, but I do. I feel I was pushed out of that place and meant to go somewhere else.
I didn't say I didn't believe in God.
What?
I don't believe it in a religious sense, you know?
No, I don't believe in religion either. But I have a personal savior.
I gotta complain to the building about these because it's that sewer line. Any final messages? Drunkie?
That was my final message.
That was your final message.
I'm a woman of very little words.
This is true. That's why it's so easy to manipulate you.
So easy to manipulate you. Grooming.
For the record, who groomed who?
Maybe I groomed you.
You think? You think? You love me, right?
Yeah. I love you too.
All right. Say bye to everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. From the horse's mouth herself.
Sorry for the profanity too. Maybe he curses less than I do, but
Less.
I can't.
I thought you watched this. I thought you watched this fucking channel.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
I'm too New York. I can't stop myself. I just fucking just say shit.
Thank you, everybody, for all your support. Everybody who donates, who's helped us out in specific times. We appreciate everything.
Really appreciate it. Really, really do.
And if you guys know what to do. If you want me to read your story on the channel, you have a topic you want me to cover, a narcissist you want to expose, you know what to do with the PayPal and the email link in the description box. Or if you even just want to donate and help support the channel, that's great too. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. And Charlene, under my spell. Get in the kitchen.
Get in the kitchen.
See you all soon. Bye.